Radiant team pick.
All right, we're in the semifinals. I'm Niz, this is NizCast, and we are casting SCS tonight. Like I said, we're already in the semifinals. We have Team ASDF going on the Dire side, and they're going to be up against Orenda, playing on the Radiant side. Now, I obviously look at all the brackets as I'm casting all these games, and I've seen Orenda so many times in the brackets.
10 seconds
And they
remaining.
generally go pretty far into the tournaments, but I don't think I've ever casted one of their
5
games.
seconds remaining.
So I'm looking forward to that. I'm not looking forward to pronouncing some of their player
Reserve
names.
time.
So you'll have to bear with me on that when I get to introducing the teams, the players.
Dire
But,
team pick.
yeah, I'm a little excited to see Orenda because like I said, I never got to cast them before. So hopefully they put on a show for us. Team ASDF. We started with one of their games, and they've won every game thus far. We also saw them win Thursday. Was it Thursday? I should just look. I don't know why I didn't look. We saw them recently on here winning an SCS, I think. Now I'm questioning. I'm just gonna look. This is why I have VODs on my
Radiant
YouTube
team
channel.
ban.
Shameless plug. I can't believe I'm doing this midcast, but I am doing it.
10 seconds
Oh, that's embarrassing.
remaining.
That's definitely embarrassing. They did
5
not win.
seconds
Whoops.
remaining.
Mistakes were made.
Dire team
Mistakes
ban.
were definitely made. I apologize. They did not win. But we did see them. Not on Thursday, last Sunday we saw them, and we saw them play up against Team Dust.
Radiant team ban.
But regardless, we're already into this game. And once again, I'm going off on a tangent that no one really cares about. So let's just bring it right back to reality. We've got Lion, Batrider, and Slark banned
10
out for
seconds
ASDF.
remaining.
They then picked up Juggernaut and Morphling. The
5
bans for
seconds
Orenda
remaining.
were Troll, Brewmaster, and Vengeful Spirit, now Shadow Fiend. They picked
Dire
up
team
Centaur
ban.
and a Rubik. Huh. So, we've got ASDF picking up that Morphling once again. Looks like they like running that as a support hero. They're going to use their 4th ban as the sniper. And they pick
Radiant
up a
team
Chen.
pick.
Okay. So they're running Jug, Morphling, Chen. Huh. Now what are they looking to do with this? I mean, Chen typically likes putting pressure on towers early and giving his team a little bit of gold lead through that. Doing that against a
10 seconds
Centaur and a
remaining.
Rubik, I don't know if that's too wise. Centaur comes on pretty
5
early,
seconds remaining.
and Rubik is actually one of the better support heroes when it
Reserve
comes to
time.
wave clear. So we're going to have to see how that works out for ASDF, if they even choose to do that.
Dire
And
team
Orenda's
pick.
also going to pick up a Bristleback. So 2 typical offlaners in the Centaur and the Bristleback. But we've seen Bristle played in a lot of different roles, or a lot of different positions, I should say, a lot of different lanes. As we've seen him run mid, we've seen him run safe lane, and of course we've seen him run off lane several times. So Orenda looking to do that, and I haven't really seen Centaur run anywhere
10
besides the
seconds
off
remaining.
lane. Although he was one of my favorite
5
heroes for us
seconds remaining.
to draft back when I played many moons ago, and we were
Reserve
one of the
time.
first teams to safe lane him and rush a blink dagger on him, and then really start doing a lot more aggressive stuff on the map.
Radiant
So maybe
team
Orenda's
pick.
going to choose to do that. Who knows? We'll have to wait and see. Storm Spirit will be the 4th pick for Team ASDF. So definitely looking to tempo control and hopefully be able to pick off a hero and then push a tower. Problem is Storm's not going to be able to jump in and pick off
10
a Centaur or a
seconds remaining.
Bristleback, so he's going to have to rely on more squishy targets like the Rubik.
5 seconds remaining.
Hmm.
Queen.
Queen of Pain is going to be the 4th pick for
Dire
Orenda.
team ban.
Team ASDF actually struggled dealing with the Queen of Pain last game. So we'll have to see how they're able to deal with it this game.
Radiant team ban.
Queen of Pain, of course, could go for that Orchid, which would help lock down the Storm Spirit, maybe forcing the Storm to go for BKB. But Queen of Pain is one of those targets that Storm could potentially pick off.
10 seconds remaining.
So there is potential in that. Dazzle, the 5th ban from Team
5
ASDF.
seconds remaining.
Dazzle, of course, would pair incredibly well with both the Bristleback and the Centaur. And also gives you a hero that can help keep teammates alive when that Storm Spirit jumps in. So good ban from Team ASDF. I think they actually 5th banned Dazzle last game as well. Now just waiting on the 5th ban from Orenda. And who would they want to remove? I don't know. I have no idea. I don't know who I'd pick if I were ASDF to line up this lineup, or to round out this lineup. Tide's still in the pool. I don't think he's the hero though. Void will be the ban.
Dire team pick.
I don't know. Well, we've got 25 seconds of their pick time and then another 145 seconds of reserve time. So they've got quite a bit of time to make up their mind here. And I think this is a tough decision.
10 seconds remaining. 5 seconds remaining.
I always say, and I always think it's easier when you're looking at the hero pool, and maybe, and I actually feel like it is, but I've got nothing right now. I don't know. ASDF using that time, so they're not too sure either. I imagine right now they at least have a couple options that they're going through their head and probably discussing it with the team, saying, "What do you guys think of this? What do you think of this? Which route do you guys actually really want to go for?" I don't know if they actually draft like that. I don't know if it's a community draft, if it's just a captain who just drafts and doesn't listen to anyone else, or it's kind of a combination of the two, where the captain will do their own thing and then say, "You know what, guys, I want your input on these 2 or 3 choices that we might have available for us here." What? 35 seconds left. Timbersaw.
Radiant team pick.
Huh. Timber's strong against the Centaur. It's strong against the Bristleback, but in the laning phase, Bristle can actually beat Timbersaw, but it's very, very fragile, and it's very Timber favored, which is weird that I say that. Skywrath Mage is going to be the last pick for Orenda. I think that was a pretty obvious one, especially going up against the Storm Spirit, the Juggernaut, and now the Timbersaw. The ability to silence coming out from Skywrath is just incredible. So that was a pretty obvious pick there, and they definitely didn't waste any time there. But the Timbersaw. I'm not too sure how much that Timbersaw is going to get in the offlane, because I imagine Orenda's just staying. They're not going aggressive. Got the Queen of Pain against the Storm Spirit. The Queen should
10 seconds
do well in that mid lane as well. Then they've got the Rubik
5
Skywrath
seconds
and I'm
remaining.
guessing Bristleback in that safe lane against the Timbersaw. And that's part of, I guess, what the Timbersaw pick was. It's keeping the supports on the Radiant side honest. Saying, you know what, you guys can't roam around too much because then you're going to have the Timbersaw up against your Bristleback. And that leaves them having the Centaur in the off lane going up against the Jug Morph Chen. The downside to that is, well, the Centaur doesn't really have much wave clear. So ASDF could look to actually take down the tower pretty early. And they can definitely do that with Jug Healing Ward, with the Chen minions. And, I mean, Morphling doesn't really provide you with much to that, but it's still another hero that can right-click. And a Centaur with no wave clear, that means the Rubik's going to have to make a rotation up fairly early. Look at this. Look at the pause of the Skywrath. But, yeah, that means the Rubik's going to have to make that rotation up early to stop any kind of push like that. Which leaves the Skywrath and Bristle up against the Timber, which is fine. That's still okay. But it's just another way of tying up the supports from Orenda. If you keep those supports kind of locked into those lanes, that means the Queen of Pain isn't going to have help finishing the kill on the Storm Spirit. However, they don't really have any supports to help the Storm. So it's certainly going to be an interesting game, because I could sit here and theorycraft this for a while. If I were drafting, if I were to choose between one of these two teams, I probably would choose Orenda's lineup, because that's more of a style that I would like to play, and play that pretty aggressively. However, Team ASDF does have a couple options here on how they can make advantages and create advantages for them. Interesting. Unfortunately, once again, this looks like it's a little bit of an extended pause. I'm going to throw it to music and rest my voice, because we do have another game after this. I'm already feeling a little bit, but yeah, I'm going to throw it to music, and hopefully we'll resume shortly. Alright, we're back. That was Approaching Nirvana, Mount Olympus. Hopefully you enjoyed that. I love that track. All the music I play is Approaching Nirvana. It's pretty damn good stuff. So let's introduce the teams on the Radiant. We have Team Orenda. Playing the Rubik is going to be, now bear with me on these, it's going to be Linga. Playing the Queen of Pain is going to be CY. I got that one. That one's easy. Playing the Skywrath is going to be Baidu Emperor. Playing the Bristleback is going to be At Kong. I've casted games with At Kong before. And then we've got At Ho_OK playing the Centaur. So definitely check out the two of them on Twitter if you've got a chance. On the Dire side, we have Team ASDF. And I'm going to select them, but I'm not really going to jump around here, as we got a little bit of a stalemate out here. And notice Eleanor using the replicate, or whatever the heck that thing's called, to give vision. But on the Dire side, we have a Santa at NASA playing the Chen. We've got YOLO Swag Rico on this Juggernaut. We got XSY on the Timbersaw. We've got Key Wielder once again on that support Morphling. And we have Eleanor on the Storm Spirit. And we saw the Sentry Wards getting placed up onto the high ground on that little cliff spot, which is very, very tricky. But it does block that camp, but that's getting counter-warded. They don't know about this Sentry Ward yet, but they will know about that fairly shortly. Let's take a look at the items quickly. We've got Kong starting with a Quelling Blade. That's maybe a little surprising on the Safe Flame Bristleback. We also have nothing else too surprising, I'd say, in the end. Yellow Swagrico tanking up there a little bit in terms of armor.
No.
He'll be going up against the Centaur. It looks like Key Wielder's going to be doing a lot of pulling, and of course with a Santat Nasa jungling, that means this Jug's going to be left to solo the Centaur quite a bit this game, but he should quickly pull ahead. In this bottom lane, it is the lane that we expected, the Bristleback, Skywrath, and Rubik going up against the Timbersaw. And that means in the mid lane, it is the matchup that we also expected, CY going up against Eleanor. And we already see the Queen of Pain jumping quite a bit ahead in her CS. 6-4, 6-5 for the Queen of Pain now. Storm Spirit struggling, 1-0. And this is definitely a Queen of Pain favored lane. So Eleanor's got a steep hill to climb. But of course, Storm Spirit starts gaining a little bit of power as he gets a few levels, especially when he gets 6. But in the first level or two, he's not as strong as he is when he gets 3, 4, 5. So that'll come back to him a little bit. XSY, I don't know what you're going to do in this lane. It's going to be a very, very difficult lane for a Timbersaw. And I think the way that you create space for this Timbersaw is, like I mentioned before, with the top lane, putting pressure on this top tier 1 tower, forcing that Rubik to rotate. With the Rubik rotating, and just there being a Sky and a Bristleback, the Timber's got a little bit more space. But he's in a whole lot of trouble right now. XSY just buying a TP, TPing away. And notice where he TP'd to, the tier 1 tower in the mid lane. We actually have CY getting a kill. And I mentioned tying up those supports. You've got to tie them up in one way to stop that kind of rotation. And I can't believe, I knew this was going to happen as soon as I saw Rubik not there, but I unfortunately missed the first blood. But Linga making that rotation over, and that was just enough to help CY get that kill on Eleanor. And that's, in this matchup, the Storm Spirit is actually incredibly vulnerable. And look, once again he's getting picked off, but Linga is also getting covered by a Santat Nasa, but I think we're going to see Eleanor go down as well. So they do trade, but it's the Storm Spirit that goes down for a support. So definitely a favorable trade for Orenda. Oh, okay. Doing a little pulling and stacking of his own here. I said, you know what? If Key Wielder is going to be up here stacking and pulling this camp and denying me from XP, well, I'm going to do the same. And you have to come over here and deal with it in some way. You have to stop me from doing this, or else I'm going to get way more than you want me to get in this lane. And frankly, it's going to be difficult for Morphling to come over and really harass that Centaur back. And look, Linga just hanging out in this mid lane. And what is Eleanor supposed to do? He's just having all kinds of problems, and I don't think Team ASDF realized this. And this was part of the difficulty of the choosing their offlaners at 5th pick. It's like, who do you pick here? Eleanor is going to go down again in this mid lane. This matchup is just not favorable, and they got to get that Rubik away from there. They have to find a way to force that Rubik to go somewhere else. We still haven't seen any pressure applied on this tier 1. Chen is now 5. But still. Team ASDF already finding themselves in a little bit of a hole here. They're even behind on safe laner farm, and of course, that's to be expected. The Jug is almost 1v1ing the Centaur the majority of the time. Whereas in the bottom lane, the Bristlebacks had pretty much free farm. And XSY is getting forced back again. He's getting forced to TP, and he's going to TP all the way back to Fountain this time. Because he's low on HP and mana, and he's got no regen left, so he'll take the trip all the way back to the Fountain. That means he's got to walk this entire time. And the worst part about that is this creeper is pushing his tower, and he's missing out on this XP. So it may have actually even been worth it for him to TP here because he knew that this lane was going to push, soak up that XP, play really back defensive. He could have even played over here and soaked. I feel like I should just stay locked in the mid lane as CY and Linga get another kill onto Eleanor. A Santa at NASA was there, but unfortunately a little bit too slow. And look, it's just the Sonic Wave getting used. But I think that's the fourth death now for, yeah. That Storm Spirit really struggling in this mid lane. They've got to do something to change that. And maybe it's you slow down Chen's farm a bit to stack some of these camps in the jungle, and that's how you help your Storm get back in the game. Storm can clear those stacks, but... It's a tough position to be in, that's for sure. You really want to get Storm to 6 because... Well, I say that, but actually Storm isn't that much of a threat. Like, without 6, Storm definitely isn't a threat. But once you get to 6, as long as you're not really far behind, which frankly he is, you can go and clear a camp in the jungle. And as long as you stay off the map, you're putting a lot of pressure on these other lanes. Like, if Storm was 6, this would be really, really scary for Linga to step up that far. To go up this far, that'd be incredibly dangerous. And same thing with the bottom. It wouldn't be possible for Baidu Emperor to play so aggressive onto XSY. But with that Storm not being 6, it's a struggle. And look at the rotation that they actually chose to go with. They took a Santa at NASA, stuck him mid, and said, alright, Eleanor, just go jungle. And you can jungle on... Whoa. XSY getting a kill on the Bristleback. How did that happen? Obviously XSY hit 6, but Baidu Emperor was pulling, but I guess the Bristle just playing maybe a little too greedy there, and Kong went down. But considering we have 6 kills in 8 minutes, this game's going kind of slow at the moment. It seems like no one even wants to go mid against this Queen of Pain. Who was going for the top rune, but the Rubik took it. It was a bounty rune, and now they'll force the Queen of Pain to head to the bottom rune. And as soon as he realized where the Timber Cell was heading from, that the rune was already gone. XSY even getting picked off there, despite just getting a regen rune. It is a tough game for Team ASDF.
Is under attack.
We got to keep watching Eleanor here because something has to happen once he hits 6, and he just hit 6.
Dire's structures are fortified.
Something has to happen. Look at his items. He's got a bottle that he's crowing right now, but still so far behind. And this. Honestly, this isn't even worth bottle crowing right now, I don't think. Because right now, just kill this camp, go back to Fountain, TP somewhere, and try to gank. I think is going to be the best play.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
This is actually a decent situation. You can take Key Wielder, stick them in the middle lane, morph a little bit of strength. So yes, it's a support morph lane, but XSY in trouble, has been silenced up. TP coming in from the Juggernaut. He'll immediately use the Omni Slash, get the kill onto Baidu Emperor. So it is a 1-for-1 trade. And a kill goes on the side of Juggernaut, and they'll gladly take that. But still, quite a bit behind. Let's switch over to the net worth already. And look at how far down the list that Storm Spirit is. 2,300 gold. Now Yellow Swag Rico even getting forced out of the jungle by the Rubik. And, well, Key Wielder getting blown up in the mid lane. Hasn't really shifted too much to strength. Still predominantly
Dire's middle
edgy.
tower is under attack.
But look at the Centaur. Almost has his Blink Dagger. 3,400 net worth right now. And that is so much ahead of the Storm. Eleanor TP's in. He TP's in and immediately gets spell stolen. So now Linga has ball lightning. And Eleanor's like, dude, I just hit 7. I was 5 like 10 seconds ago practically. And you're a support and you're already stealing spells? You're already 6? What's going on in this game? I'm so far behind. Insult to injury. I don't see the value of going this support Morphling and Chen. I feel like they're incredibly vulnerable at this point in the game. So what are they going to do? How do they get back into this? They've got a Bristleback now with Vanguard. It looks like Radiant's now going to start pressuring towers as they're gathering for the tier 1 tower in mid lane. XSY, Key Wielder above. A Santa and NASA in behind the tower. And they try to go on the Rubik, but immediately Linga ball lightnings away, having stolen that off Eleanor in the top lane earlier. Eleanor still just jungling, trying to get himself back in this game. I feel like you need to get a pick off though. Try and get a pick off on that Rubik because he's been playing so greedy. But you have to wait until ball lightning's over, or the spell steal of ball lightning has finished. Well, they got the blink dagger on Centaur, so definitely Orenda's going to start picking up the pace here. As Kong trying to force back Yellow Swag Rico. I think he was actually going after the camp, and suddenly a Juggernaut. But I don't think he's too worried about the Juggernaut. An Omni Slash isn't going to do much to a Bristleback at this point in the game, especially a rank 1 Omni Slash. But let's actually take a look at the net worth because it's not looking good for Team ASDF as it's over 5,000 gold lead. They did just get a kill on Queen of Pain. Every time I look at something, I'm missing a kill. Just remove Niz. Kong now will run into Yolo Swag Rico again. XSY did just TP in and they're going to go on Kong here. I think they're going to get a kill. There we go, that's something going right for them. Surprisingly, the kill total is actually 7-5. It feels like it's been a lot more one-sided than that. And I think it's just because of how far behind the Storm Spirit is. And oh my goodness. Really? Linga steals Omni Slash? Jug not able to cover it up.
Dire's bottom tower
Rubik,
is under attack.
picking Rubik as a counter pick to the Juggernaut is actually oh wow. Okay, not able to get the stomp off. Stampede will get used. Yola Swag Rico. That was actually really long range with that double edge. But Yola Swag Rico will go down. And they even dropped a sentry ward there. Oh, interesting location for a sentry ward. But yeah, the Rubik actually, as a counter pick to Jug, actually gained a little bit of strength. And I'm never going to be able to make that point as they jump forward, get a kill onto Key Wielder. And this is going to be the tier 1 tower down.
Dire's middle tower.
Well, let's try to explain this point one more time. As Rubik gained a little bit of strength as a counter pick to the Juggernaut because of that increase of mana cost of Healing Ward. And it doesn't seem like the biggest change later on, but at this point in the game, especially when you're Omni Slash and you've Blade Fury or something like that, you don't have the mana to just drop a Healing Ward and stuff like that. Linga getting picked off there. And Team ASDF somehow getting another pick. But in the bottom lane, they're losing Key Wielder again as Holo K jumps in with that blink on the Centaur, and they're going to lose another tier 1 tower. The only tier 1 tower left is going to be that one in the top lane. XSY is actually going to come in and defend. Tower's 12 HP. It's going to go down. The creeps are going to finish it off. The Timber's gone down as well as the Centaur, and now they're going to try to focus down Kong. But there's the Queen of Pain arriving on the scene, using that Sonic Wave, blowing up Yellow Swag Rico. And the Santa at NASA is soon to fall quickly thereafter. 4 heroes go down in that bottom lane on Team ASDF. They only get 1 kill onto Centaur. I guess it's not really fair to say 4. It was more 3. The Morph got picked off before any of that really started. But still, another fight goes very Orenda favored. And look at that ward placement coming out from Baidu Emperor. It's going to give them a lot of information on what kind of movement this Dire side are making, where they're going. I don't know what Team ASDF is going to do here. It's going to be a very difficult position to come out of. And let's actually take a look at all the items. As we've got, look at how big this Rubik is. Just an urn and boots, but with how much he's done on the map to have that much farm, it just shows how effective Linga has been. He's 1, 2, and 4 right now, 13 and 7 CS. That doesn't sound that impressive, but he's had such a big impact all over the map this game. And we've got a 2-man smoke here, and the Centaur and the Skywrath are going to run right into Yellow Swag Rico, and they're going to get a kill on him. XSY is going to come in, try to help, but the Jug is just dead so fast. We'll continue going through the items. We've got an Orchid already finished on the Queen of Pain, but 2,400 gold on top of that. The Skywrath. Oh, I think this is maybe a little too greedy. As okay, is this going to get blown up? Tried to go on to XSY there, but Keywielder is just hanging out. And Pink's coming out saying that there's an observer ward or something around here, I guess. But not the case. There is just a sentry there. It says observer ward. Is there both there?
Dire's top tower is under attack.
I'm so confused. Does it always say observer ward?
Dire's structures are fortified.
I swear I've played this game before. Like, this will just say observer. Is there 2 there? I can't see it. There must be 2.
Dire's top tower has fallen.
I wish I had another sentry to check. But the top tier 1 tower goes down. I'll eventually get to, oh, we got replicate stolen by the Rubik there, and Keywielder is going to be going down there. There's a replicate getting used. 15 to 8 now. They do have a double damage on Eleanor, on the Storm Spirit. It's going to be a very, very difficult fight for them to take. Quickly switch over to the hero levels. Yeah, pretty much everyone.
Dire's top tower is under attack.
There's already level 11 on there against that, except for 2. But, oh Jesus, everyone's just going down so fast. And we already had 2 heroes going down. They did take the Skywrath out. Buyback coming out from XSY on that Timbersaw. But they also lost Yola Swag Rico in the meantime. And now I think this is just going to be a buyback from XSY as he's going to go down. Keywielder's going to jump in, trying to help, but he's going to go down as well. And now Eleanor's going to come in and just probably just got on out of there. You've already died 4 times. He managed to get out of there and not die that last fight, and TP'd back in and realized he just had to run away again.
Dire's top tower
Team ASDF very, very far behind this game. We'll take a look at the gold graph, and that's almost 12,000 gold lead for Orenda, just 18 minutes into this game. And I haven't had the time to cover all the items, so I'm just going to bring this screen up so you can see all the items at once. But CY has since picked up a Shadow Blade to go with that Orchid. Baidu Emperor still just has a Staff of Wizardry and a Ring of Regen. I imagine he's very, very close. You can actually take a look at his gold, 400 gold, so about 500 away from that recipe to finish the 4 staff. Kong has a Sandy and that Vanguard. And Ho'oke's got the Blink. As we saw that. Let's see why he gets a kill there in the top lane.
I gave your death some thought,
I missed
believe
that one
me.
though. That was in the mid lane. I was too busy going over the items, guys. I apologize. But you start taking a look at the items on Team ASDF. You almost have an eggs finished on the Chen. I guess that's not bad. But your Jug doesn't really have much. Mask of Madness, Phase Boots, not even Yasha. XSY, Arcane Boots and a Chainmail. Keywielder's got Arcane Boots and he's a support. And Eleanor's just treads, a point booster, soul ring, bottle. I mean, it's a good foundation, but not for 19 minutes into the game. They are definitely struggling, and they're going to lose a tier 2 here. I don't think they're going to be able to defend it. By the time Swag Rico's up and TPing, this tower is pretty much gone. I think they're just going to have to surrender it and to say, you know what, guys, we'll avoid team fights and just defend our high ground. Eleanor jumping in just to farm a little bit of creep kills. And there we go. The tier 2 is going to go down in the mid lane. There's no way Team ASDF is going to try to engage on this. So there goes that tier 2 tower. They're just going to make a rotation down to the bottom lane and do the same thing. And I'm pretty sure the call from Team ASDF has just been, guys, let's just defend our high ground. Baidu Emperor, that was a very, very obvious observer word placement. That's going to get countered pretty much immediately.
Dire's bottom tower is under attack.
But yeah, they'll just post up at the tier 2 in the bottom lane here. And Baidu Emperor even placing another one onto the high ground there. Onto the pillar, I like to call it.
Dire's bottom tower has
But
fallen.
just take a look at the mini-map. We've got an observer ward here. We've got an observer ward here. 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 And then the one that just got countered in the base. They had 5 observer wards out on the map. So much vision. And part of that was just they had so much map control just with their heroes moving around that they can do that thing that I explained last game, where you can hold onto wards and maybe say, you know what, we actually feel comfortable just having 1 observer ward on the map. We don't need to have 2 out all the time. We can hold on to 1 for a bit. Maybe we'll only overlap them a minute or 2 or something like that. But you start building up an excess of wards essentially so that you can pick a moment in the game and say, this is a moment that we want our observer wards to really carry us and give us a ton of map control so we can really clamp down on our enemy. And we're seeing that right now as we're getting a whole bunch of observer wards coming in. This one's about to expire, so it's no big deal. But you've got these very, very important observer wards that, you know, as soon as Key Wielder made that rotation, it was pinged out. This observer ward giving a ton of information, even if it's going down right now. This observer ward doing essentially the same thing, telling you where heroes are moving. And just by knowing where they're moving that slight little bit, you know exactly where they're going to go. CY missing the Sonic Wave, and now it's going to be a turnaround, but there comes the Stampede, and it's going to be Yola Swag Rico is going to go down first. CY was quick to get out of there. Now Eleanor is in a whole lot of trouble, as he's got not much mana to go, and he will go down. Oh, okay, getting the last
My thanks.
hit there, and it's now 24-9. ASDF just holding on, not giving in to the temptation to hit enter, GG, enter. Just holding on here, but now we're gonna start getting Orenda poking away at the tier 3s. We're gonna start with the mid lane. It's already gone down about 400 HP, and they're gonna keep going. They don't even have okay there yet. He's just hanging out in the top lane. This is just 4 heroes poking away to tier 3. Yeah, it's 4v4, but they're so confident doing this.
Dire's structures are fortified.
And look at Bristleback just taking a bunch of that damage. He says, you know what, I've got Aegis. It's no big deal. We're willing to sacrifice the Aegis to get this tier 3 and start taking down some racks. But he'll actually get earned, and he hasn't even dropped yet. There we go, Eleanor jumping in with the ball lightning, but he'll get lifted immediately, and he's down. Kong still somehow alive with barely any HP. The Chen, about to go down, but gets the ultimate off. And now they're going to go after Key Wielder, who jumps to his replicate. He's now in behind the throne. The Rubik, the Jug, the Chen have all gone down. Even the Timbersaw have gone down. The buyback came out from the Storm Spirit, but it's over. The GG well played has been called, and that was a one-sided affair. Take a look at that gold graph. North of 25,000 gold lead for Team Orenda, and oh my goodness. They did everything that was necessary. Put a ton of pressure on that Storm Spirit. And I talked about it in the draft. They've got to find a way to tie up the supports from Orenda, because if those supports can be moving around, then they're just going to get locked out all over the place, whether it's shutting down the Timber, whether it's putting immense pressure on the Storm Spirit, or both, which is what happened this game. ASDF is just going to be in a real tough time, or have a real tough time. And we saw that. Orenda just played practically to perfection early on, and they just snowballed from there. CY 12-1-9 had pretty much the easiest lane of his life, but 12-1-9 didn't miss a beat going from there. We saw him miss an ultimate, but you know, it happens. It happens. Still played a really well game. Orenda, very impressive. I'm glad that I got to see this game because, like I said, I've seen them in the bracket, but never got to cast one of their games. But this was a good one. And with this win, though, we'll advance to the finals. I've got that coming up next. If you enjoyed the cast, hit that follow button, twitch.tv/NizCast. You can also follow me on Twitter at NizCast and on YouTube, where I'll upload all these VODs. And that's youtube.com/NizCast. But We still have one game left. I'm going to throw it to music. Hopefully we'll have a lobby up soon. I believe the other team's already waiting, so it shouldn't be too long. But until then, got some music. Hope you enjoy. Thanks for watching, guys.